As we all know in the Quran, Allah has says that men are allowed to marry up to 4 wives. Up to today, the society still can't accept it, especially from women's point of view. The question is it sinful for a woman to marry someone's husband quietly, without the first wife or his parents or his family or parents' knowledge? Is this considered theft? And what do you think of the guy who wants to marry the second without following the rules of the country, because to him Allah's rules is more important as long as it's halal? From S. My name doesn't start with S.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. I think we all know the permissibility and the conditions in the Sharia. There is no point in going back into that. But I think let's talk about it from the respect of a female perspective. In the sense that I believe you would be foolish to do something hidden, because when something goes wrong, you have absolutely no support. So if a person is man enough, then it should not be something hidden. It is for your protection that it should be known by people that this is what has happened. So if a person is going to do something hiding, you will feel at a certain stage that your rights are being usurped, but you won't be able to do anything about it. You will feel perhaps that you are being used, but you won't be able to do anything about it, because you agreed when the going was hot to get into hot water. And you know, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen us. Sometimes speaking of permissibility is one thing and prohibition, but speaking of it being feasible and workable is another. So I would never encourage a sister to go into something secret where no one knows, you know, it's the honor Allah has given you. Why? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all honor and dignity, and may He grant us the ability to do things the correct way. The second part of the question was connected to someone who does things the wrong way. Then too, I would feel that from a social perspective, you know, if you look at it, why would you like to do things in a way that would displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to start with, and then everyone else? When you do something, do it correctly. If people's minds are not made up, if people are not ready to digest things, well, you have a lot of work to do. I remember discussing it with a group of people, and this is a topic that is very close to the heart of a lot of people, either positively or negatively. And we were a group of young people, and they all said, our wives will never accept it. So what is the solution? So I told them, because you know, like you saw, they put me in the box. Everyone else is here, mashallah. They put me in the box. And I was told before we came here that do not hand your question to another speaker. Right or wrong? I didn't know that this was coming. But at that time, I told the others, I said, look, what do you guys think is a solution? What do you people think is a solution? Because as you are saying, they cannot accept it. You know what they said? We will teach the next generation. For example, I wouldn't mind giving my daughter in marriage to someone who is married if he is a really good guy. Because in my own case, I look at it in a different way. I'd rather have a person who is dedicated, he's going to respect and honor my daughter, he will actually really treat her like a queen who is married already, in the sense that I'd rather have a man who's in a polygamous relationship who's going to honor my daughter than to have a single guy who's on drugs and in the nightclubs, he's going to come and beat her up and he's going to do this and that, and he has no respect for women. So this brother suggested these things, and you know what? It made sense, but some of them said, we can't wait for that. That goes to show it's got to do with your own self. You don't want to solve a problem for the ummah, you just want your own solution. If that's the case, you're going to end up doing things secretly, privately, think of things that are really, the environment is not yet ready. You're not prepared to contribute towards preparing the environment to accept something like this as a solution in the future. And trust me, it's coming, because we have issues. But you just want it for yourself, so that is why we don't find true solutions. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us. I've purposely stayed away from certain things, but that's just to protect myself. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us all ease. Like I always say, permissibility is there. I did not encourage you, I did not discourage you. I only made mention of what is on the ground. Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh.